discovered.
We have over 10 hours of footage that hasn't been seen by the general public before, and over 1,000 photographs. We've got excellent footage of the crater, and it's completely offset from the large bite in the building. And as General Parton said, that the building, the first bomb would have been around the third floor. Well, you can actually see, I mean, it's probably, 30, 40 feet offset from the small crater where the car bomb was, and then the floors are actually concaved around the third floor. So you could see, and that was the biggest bite in the building, where it blasted that out. You had people said that they heard what sounded like a rifle shot, a high-powered rifle shot, which is, it works the same way with C4. It wouldn't have been as loud of an explosion. And that's where you hear all of the survivors talk about rubble coming down, people getting under their desks. They had time to get under their desk, and then the car bomb goes off outside. The bus tilts twice.
Yes, twice, 6 blocks away. 14 people were in that building, had enough wherewithal, the cognitive ability to take cover. That simply wouldn't have happened if they would have been hit.
And you see the repeat with the feds. They love to have their diversion. The plane flies in, then the buildings blow up, and then no one notices the 47-story building not hit that falls in perfectly. We interview the guy who was the deputy head of emergency management. He says, yeah, there were bodies. They blew it up. Then he dies mysteriously. But, I mean, it's the same thing here. Real bombs go off, diversionary truck bomb, because the public's going to go, well, how did they get bombs inside? I mean, it's sick how their psychopathic brains work. It's criminology. They do the same stuff over and over again.
And the lack of humanity. I mean, the children that were in the building.
Well, it's a gambit. I mean, when you understand the military officer mind, and this goes back thousands of years, they write about it. Let's say you're Alexander the Great or you're Julius Caesar or somebody else. If you send out a detachment of, say, 50 guys into a valley where an army is at, but you want to draw them out and see their numbers, your 50 guys are going to get cut off and killed. But now your argument is that'll save 100,000 of your main army because now you've gotten that intel.
The ends justify the means.
And so the ends justifies the means, the noble lie. And so America needs to take over. The Arabs are dangerous. We're going to blow these buildings. And we need a Pearl Harbor level event, as the PNAC document said by the vice president, to get this done. And it's the same thing, Oklahoma City. They've got their collectivist world government. All these states were moving to get out of the UN and to declare the 10th Amendment. Well, we'll just blow the hell out of this building and blame it on the Patriots. And that's what they did. Within 10 minutes, Bill Clinton said, talk radio, Rush Limbaugh, it's your fault.
And they're already digging this back up to demonize the renewed patriot movement in this country. We've got a researcher, Kay Beach, is going to talk about the MIAC report and the Department of Homeland Security right-wing extremism lexicon, and how they use the Oklahoma City bombing to demonize the Tea Party. It's like, if you believe in supporting the Constitution and you oppose tyranny, well, you're a McVeigh. You're one of those government haters.
Oh, no, they say I'm a McVeigh.
Yeah.
And, boy, I tell you, the Southern Poverty Law Center in that Chris Matthews documentary, they call me by my first name. Oh, Alex. We're not saying he's going to cause violence, but his followers are. So now I guess I've never talked to these people, but they're on a first name basis. That's how much because I know they don't like it that I talk about how they were running Elohim City.
Well, we were doing the 15th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing press conference. At the same time, there was a Tea Party going on outside in Oklahoma City. And this is at the time that there was a lot of talk about militias again, and nobody was really even talking about it. They were talking about like a volunteer force to take over because all the National Guard's deployed, and we have a lot of natural disaster in Oklahoma, and they wanted to have some volunteers ready to go in and help. And that's all that Charles...
Civil defense.
Right. Yeah, 22 states have...
Charles Key wants a militia to attack the government.
And all of that information that came out was not on the tape. It was not in the interview. The editor took the reporter's story and completely fabricated all this stuff about...
Well, no, that's like Rand Paul. There's like a 2-second delay, and he's like, excuse me, yes, I can hear you. Oh, you agree with getting rid of the Civil Rights Act? No, I don't. And then they ran the headline. He says, get rid of the Civil Rights Act. I mean, these are hoaxers.
Sure.
These are slime bags. These are crooks.
And it makes you wonder what they're cooking up, because in the public mind, they're trying to link patriot movement to militias to violence.
Muslims.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to say that the militias have linked up with Al-Qaeda. Can you believe those dirty American... I mean, yeah, the good old boys are working with Al-Qaeda when that's admitted CIA. I mean, folks, they're getting ready to set you up. Yep. The offshore banks know you're awake to what they've done, and they're going to blow stuff up and blame it on you unless we trump them with the info. And let me tell you, this hidden 15 years ago. People know about false flag terror now. It has entered the lexicon.
And that's why it's so important for this information to get out now, because they're using it to demonize the renewed patriot movement in this country.
You guys better hurry. They could stage more stack attacks, more Oklahoma cities any day.
What we'd like to ask the viewers is to keep an open mind when this movie comes out, and thanks in no small part to you, Alex. I mean, you were definitely the support over the years. You were the inspiration for us to continue on. There were many times that we wanted to set this aside because literally, cognitive and mentally, it was so overwhelming. It was so bad. It was so deep. It was so far down the rabbit hole. But
well, when you know they're lying about that, then you start, everything's a lie.
Exactly.
Well, and that's why we want to get the truth out. I mean, I believe that bravery is contagious, and I'm a member of We Are Change, and I really take that to heart, that we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. It's an internal process. We can change the outside by changing the inside.
Stay there. Final 5 minutes. Let's talk about that on the other side, because if we don't expose Oklahoma City, we can't expose 9/11. We can't expose the Gulf of Tonkin. We can't expose these false flag events. They're using them to enslave us. We'll be right back. Infowars.com.
Global meltdowns, massive unemployment, endless wars, a new currency crisis, financially and morally bankrupt. A great and terrible storm is approaching. So what's the best way to get ready, to get prepared for hard times ahead? Introducing Off the Grid News, a weekly newsletter for independent patriots who want practical advice on how to survive and prosper in an increasingly dangerous world. It's the best way to get a black belt in emergency preparedness, survival skills, and off-the-grid living. Off the Grid News is fiercely independent, all about self-reliance and packed with helpful information on survival gardening, food preparation, alternative energy, herbal medicines, privacy and security, as well as God, gold, and guns, with absolutely no apologies. And the best part, this $100 a year service is now free of charge for our listeners. That's right, free for our listeners who sign up at offthegridnews.com. That's offthegridnews.com. You can sign up free at offthegridnews.com. offthegridnews.com.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Afraid to answer it? Afraid to answer your door? Did you know that debt settlement, bankruptcy, and attorneys will cost you about 10 times more than you would legally be required to pay creditors? These are not ways to help you get out of debt. They are expensive payment plans. And if you're in debt already, does it make sense to load yourself up with another payment plan? Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days, guaranteed. And that's the website you need to visit right now. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com is the quickest solution to debt relief on the planet. If you have more than $25,000 in credit card debt, student loans, or difficult mortgage situation, we can help. And we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
All right, Aaron has worked on a 10-minute video that just went live with a story. Obama guilty of high treason, selling out sovereignty to Mexico with this suit against Arizona. Key video up on Infowars.com. It's just now going up there right now. Look at this one. This is out of KDVR out of Denver, Colorado. Thieves could go free while victim faces jail time. 2 illegal aliens were stealing his trailer. He ran out, told them to stop. He shot one of them who got injured, and he says he's going to face life in jail, and they're to be released because basically they're illegal aliens and God. So this is your criminal government, ladies and gentlemen, who wants to take your right to defend your life and property, just like England does. Holland O. Vandernoehoff is a really interesting fellow who I've interviewed before. We'll have him back on when the film comes out, but he's done deep research, and he's part of the film team. Holland, you've worked on the Oklahoma City connections to Oklahoma. Just real fast, rattle some of those off.
Well, we have a lot of concrete connections. For one, Hussein al-Husseini, who was named as John Doe number 2 by Jana Davis at KFOR TV in Oklahoma, filmed, named specifically by witnesses on the scene as that was the man who was in the truck, Hussein al-Husseini. He later works for Boston's Logan Airport on the day of 9/11. He was a baggage handler. And as I recall, 2 of the hijackers flew out of there, and that's where their luggage went through, and they found the incriminating will and so forth. And then you have like Melvin Lattimore, a man whose original credit cards were used in the first World Trade Center bombing in 1993. He was a known Confederate of Tim McVeigh and friends of Tim McVeigh in 1995 before the bombing. And later on, he was a roommate of the 20th hijacker, the 20th